I'm gonna get the stream up, guys. Oh my god, I'm so nervous. Oh my god. Okay, view this slideshow. Here we go.
It's
Look at
fun.
this
They'll be
beautiful.
nervous after the quiz at the end.
Yeah, yeah. We're just gonna quiz everyone, be like, so what happened in slide two?
All right, and for every answer we get right, it's 100 mil, right? Get it? I'll record the whole thing and just go back and question two. Give me 5 seconds. I'll just go back a couple slides. I'll tell you what the answer is.
So here's our introduction, and we just want to welcome, of course, the new and there is of course the existing staff here as well. But a lot of us are new here. And there's a reason for this as well, for like wanting to try and like ramp up the staffing overall. But essentially, what we want to do is get the clan to a self-sustaining point. It's a very well-established clan. It's a large clan. It's booming with activity. We've done a lot of great things with it, but we want to now take it to a whole new stage. So the dynamics are going to change. So we're going to go over like goals and targets, try and give some delegation and direction for how we are going to go about with those goals and targets. Um, some refinements and developments on the in-game clan and the Discord itself. We've got some things planned there, and some structures just so that we can kind of have something that's cohesive and consistent, and so everyone's just like on the same page, and then we'll just kind of go into a bit of a Q&A at the end just to have a general discussion. Um, so after delivering this Clan v Clan bingo that we just had, which I think was really successful and a lot of fun, interaction growth has improved drastically, which is really good. I've got these really fancy graphs here too to kind of like indicate the green line there at the bottom one just shows like how many people have joined. Um, and obviously you could just see it just shooting up and rising and rising and rising. Um, so activity is at a really good point. But what we tend to find between Seeker and ourselves, with our experience in the past, is that we kind of go all in, but we can't always go all in. So when we do go all in, we have phases where activity is booming, and then we kind of have like a decline phase where people get comfortable and activity is kind of fizzling out, and we've kind of got to shake it up again and all of that. We don't want that. What we want is what I was just talking about, the sustainability to kind of keep that momentum going. And I think now, of course, being a larger clan, me, Sequel, small team doing it on our own, isn't going to basically sustain what we want to do. So that's why we want a bigger team. Um, so essentially, what we want is to maintain that activity by just a few key basic things, such as just like integrating people, which is welcoming new members, understanding who people are, just kind of just being engaged with the community in whatever way, whether it's questions or whether someone's looking to group up with bosses and stuff like that, and just point them to the right direction, to the right people, just get a good collective understanding of the people now are in the clan, the people now coming into the clan, all of that, and that's sort of the next bit, communication there. Um, and where things are kind of lackluster as well, it's finding direction and solutions. So, like, say someone's really into Todd, but we don't have a lot of Todd players. It's like, what can we do as a team to try and elevate that? To try and like, that's a gap we say is our focus, and we want to kind of build bridges to make that a bit more active and engaging on that side of the game. Um, so when it comes to targets and goals, it's clan activity, Discord activity, event coordinating, larger staff team, which is the point of this, clan bank funds for events and stuff, networking, growth, all of that, active moderation and support, staff meetings, which I've just bracketed as a monthly thing, I think would be good. It won't be as intense and elaborate as this one. It'll just be a communication thing, just general discussion. Whether it would be like designing a calendar or something for set events for that month. But this one's a bit more elaborate because there's a lot of things that we want to do, and the dynamic's going to kind of shift a little bit. Um, oh, and that's the door. I knew I'd get interrupted. I'll be right back.
Better be some good food.
Since he's making us being
man.
in the clan meeting, he's got to bring us all food, right?
Yeah, right. You gotta bring it to the whole class.
Right.
Now that's what I like to hear. I'm hungry, man. Let's eat.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Shit.
Clan barbecue.
What's up? Florida's good weather for it.
Sorry about that, guys. Right, I'm back. Yeah, so finding like opportunities, giving people purpose in the clan. Sometimes things come up where you can kind of like harness or rope in people or whatever into things that I like that's really beneficial for the clan. So like opportunities come up to just kind of like highlighting on that if it does come about. And plans and ideas, just like between ourselves. Going further, like how we take things further, ideas we might have, just discussion and stuff like that. Um, Being proactive, of course, and delivering. And essentially, we want people to get to a point where people are comfortable in their role, that there is also some form of initiative, rather than just us like delegating. It's like this is what we're going to do. Have some initiative too. So staff role refinements, we're kind of changing how the staffing roles are going to work. We want them to be more specific because at the moment, what we have in game is just for key ranks, but there's no distinguishable like difference. You can't like say, oh, that person is for events and that person's a moderator or something like that. So we want to make it specific. So we've got the event coordinator, and event coordinator perks would be that you'd have permissions to be able to configure events through Apollo without us necessarily having to make it for you. You'd be able to do that. You'd have access to do that yourselves. If you need us to show you how to do that, we're happy to do that. Which I think is more of a time thing. If you don't know how to do that, it's more of just like putting it into practice. Once you get into practice and you understand how to use it, then it will go a lot more smoothly for people that don't understand it. But yeah, we're happy to help. Moderation and support will have permissions to delete messages and time out people where like issues come up or something. So that's like prohibiting rules and stuff like that. So they have those permissions. Um, don't know why it's not on there, but you'd also have the permission to kick people if you had to. It's more of a final thing you would do. Obviously, make sure you're communicating with us if you are going ahead to take any actions on that. Don't feel scared to take action, but just make sure it's being communicated. Um, Network and recruiting. You'll have access to the official old school Discord server, which I'll show you in a bit. For the personal clan thread that we have to basically maintain it, network, and recruit people. Um, Mentors, you will have permissions with Apollo as well, just to broadcast on like raid events and stuff like that. When mentors are more specifically catered to people that are teaching raids, not just event coordinating in a general sense. An alumni is a retired staff, someone like Evie that's left recently or Otto. Um, they basically still have access to the staff channels, so they can see that and they're kind of involved in that sense, but they aren't actively playing any role as a staff member. They aren't actually bringing input, whether it's because they've taken a step down or a step away or because they've taken a break from the game. um, that would be there. It doesn't mean that you'd be stuck in that rank. So, like, say, if you did come back and you did want to pick up the mantle again and do anything, obviously you'd go back into your other staff role. But an alumni is more like you were once a staff member, you brought input to the clan, so. Um, and then there's a graphics designer, which is a very niche one. It's just someone that can like work more closely with us on like disclosed events like bingos. Like we're not going to broadcast a bingo board, but a graphics designer could make a really nice looking bingo board sort of thing. So like undisclosed events that would have just that access to be able to see what we're developing. So we're going to get into the definitions. Um, so when it comes to event coordinator, what we'd be doing every month is mapping out the time availability that coincides with, say, a calendar. So we've already posted a calendar. What we'd do each month would be like, these are the available dates. What dates that are you free to be able to plan something? So we'll kind of have a plan ahead to prepare a calendar. So we'd do that. Being able to optimize Apollo, which is something you learn over time. So you'd be able to do this yourself without us having to do it for you. This is where we want to take it. So there is that initiative. We'd preferably prefer people, if they are going to run events, be present in the voice chat because it's engaging, especially with things like, say, a worldy event, right? Communicating on as a PK, you got a scout, that sort of thing. But it's just a bit more, it brings community together. And that's the last bit as well, just promote grouping and bringing people together. So that's kind of the role of what a coordinator is. On the left there, that's Hammer Time, which I've also got a tab open to show you how to use Hammer Time, which I'll show later. Um, but it is very straightforward. There's also one that Merck has suggested and posted, which is also very simple to use. Honestly, either work, but Hammer Time is what I use, and that's why that's on the presentation. Um, then the moderator and support, kind of like what your role would be, is just being like engaging actively with community on a social basis. You're there to moderate the chat and stuff like that, but don't just moderate. Be stand out basically, and be willing to help and stuff like that. So yeah, it's directing existing and new members to the Discord server. Say if someone joins the discord.gg/Firebird, that's good. Get some people in a Discord because that's where all of the information is. And it's also just directing members for like solutions. Say someone wants to do Nightmare, like Fasani Nightmare, but it's quite an obscure piece of content that not a lot of people do. So you're not going to just conveniently find someone to do Nightmare with you at the time they ask. So we've got things already in place in our server for solutions to that, such as the create event. All they have to do is put the format in, we configure it for them, and they could be like, oh, I want to do Nightmare 6 p.m. tomorrow, something like that, right? And we'd put it up there, and it kind of just broadcasts and highlights that to try and get people to group up together now interested in that content. Um, Updating fire rank applications, the fire rank applications in the Discord. If people are submitting there and you're available and you see it, you have the permissions to be able to change those ranks. Um, and it's basically just navigating players, yeah, that's what it is, and supporting with questions. Keeping dramas and issues outside of the clan and not public. If there's any issues and back and forths happening publicly in like the clan chat, um, don't feel afraid to step in and be like, guys, take it to the PMs or something like that. If they're ignoring you, obviously everything's subjective. You can go so far to warn them, feed it back to us as well, and even take action if that is the necessary thing to do. Um, and so yeah, reporting prohibited behaviors to the inner circle. And just encouraging members to use the Discord resources. And log in donations. If you see donations, some people aren't logging it in the donation screenshot, whether if you're directing them about that channel or whether you're taking a screenshot for them, that's all very helpful. So that's kind of like a moderator support role. That's what they would do. Networking and recruiting. Essentially, we have our RuneScape thread. It would be great if someone is able to maintain it. It doesn't need a lot of attention. All you'd have to do is bump it. I think it's like every 2 hours. I'm not saying do it every single 2 hours, but just bump it. It gets people to recognize the clan. And when there's also the other thread, which is looking for a clan, again, you don't have to look at it all the time, but when there's submissions put on there, when you're networking with people, they already give like an introduction of what they what to do. Like for example, with the screenshot there, I'm interested. Do you do Chambers of Xeric often? It's like so he clearly likes Chambers of Xeric, so I've kind of got a good idea of what this guy's into. Who he is just by just communicating and building that network. So that's kind of what a recruit network role would do. They would also look into fire rank applications. They have access to change ranks because they're recruiting people. Um, and also just promoting the clan and representing the clan in World 477 is another way to go about it. 1500 total level is the requirement. And also there is the clan recruitment board next to the clan portal by the clan hall where you can um basically list the clan. So that's another way you can network and bring people into the clan. Mental role is very simple. Again, it's about mapping a calendar if they want to work with us with that, and we would prepare a calendar every month where we might be doing I don't know, a Chambers of Xeric Learners or something. Um, Presence in the voice chat's going to be important. Promoting of grouping people together and using Apollo, all of that, all the same as like the event coordinator, but specifically this is for raids. Illumni, I kind of just gone over it. I don't think I need to go into too much depth, but what it is that's just it's basically a staff member that is stepped down or taking a break. I won't go much further into that. That's some artwork that Nightwolf did with our last Clan v Clan bingo. Came with a trailer and everything. It looked amazing, but essentially a graphic designer, not like a all-rounder, but if it's anything between of creating graphics, art, VFX, for events, whether it's like logo, banners, flyers, ad posts, bingo boards, calendars, it doesn't have to be everything, obviously, but something in there. They have like a talent for that would be kind of what they would do and work with us on disclosed events. Now this is some of the developments we're going to be doing for clan members where we might be having a clan meeting too. We're going to implement a skill of a week medal rank. So every single time we have a skill of a week, there will be an MVP on whoever won, who has the perk to nominate 3 skills that we'd roll out on a wheel for the next skill of a week. Same thing with boss of the week. MVP gets to pick 3 bosses. We roll it out, which determines the next boss of the week. The OG role is just basically someone that has been here for over 3 years, which is quite an achievement in itself. So they would get a special role for that. Um, a server Discord booster will have accesses to add 2 emotes and a soundboard to the server. This is because we want to try and like cap on our server boosting. That would be good. Um, and this is just to take aim to try and make boss of the week and skill of the week more exciting. Um, so obviously this is a calendar example. Most of this calendars is obviously consisting of a bingo and a bingo ending, but we've got a lot of masses planned. We've got grid master planned, and all of that. So our goal is to get to a point that we have a structure where event coordinators and mentors have that initiative to be able to confidently create events themselves with a practice. But also so that when we are developing these calendars, that we are coming together and saying, I can do this day, I want to do this. Um, this is one of the concepts that I'm currently working on. I've already got the spreadsheet completely finished. This is another Clan v Clan. It can be in-house, but I want it to be Clan v Clan again. It's essentially boss of the week on steroids. It's a point-based boss of the week. Each KC represents a point. Each ring, each pickaxe represents 2 points. A blade represents 3 points, and a pet represents 5 points. So essentially, it's whoever has the most points at the end, and it's the best round of 3. So yeah, it's basically just a really insane boss of the week that I just thought I'd show you something that I want to plan. Um, Clan bank sustainability, so another sustaining conversation to have. This, of course, like I said at the beginning, we'll never make this an obligation. This is more to encourage. What we want to do essentially is sustain clan bank funds so that we can make these larger events, such as that clan v clan event that I just showed you, possible. Um, Now, obviously, there's loads of ways we can go around with things. We can do buy-ins. We've done raffles in the past. But what I would like to try and practice is if all of us could, and not let's say that you have to, but if you could, would be great. 5 mil to the coffer weekly, which I'll be doing myself as well. Um, would then sustain the clan bank to doing the calculations, like if it was 10 of us, that's like 200 mil per month, which is like plenty to work with doing fashion skates, the hide and seek that Sleepy's brought up in the past. All these things can be funded and it just sustains the bank, so I just think it would be a really good thing if we could practice it. What we can achieve with this, other than that, is more drop parties, for bingos and that I've just said as well. Fashionscapes, just it opens up a lot of doors just to mean that we can like do these more exciting events. Um, we're going to be doing an onboarding expansion. This is going to be people that can then select what things they find interesting in the game. Essentially, like if you like really like your chambers, if you really like your God Wars dungeon, you're going to be able to select them, which will give us a good like data analysis to understand our members that are joining. So that when we group up, we can play together, or we can point people to the direction of other people that are interested in that content. So I think it would be good if we did that. Um, we'll be doing a voice chat expansion as well. Some of them essentially will be limited, and there will be no using of the soundboard for more intense content such as raids. Some people might like a really nice social bubble of a lot of people, but some people might find that overstimulating. So just having that as an option would be really good. We're probably gonna add other voice chat channels as well, like PvP, since that's becoming a bit more relevant again. Um, and maybe like a chill voice chat, which would be similar to the raid one that I'm talking about, where people can like just go in there, chill without any like random noises and soundboards going off all the time. Uh, so staff meetings will conduct monthly. Um, it will go over things like what have and what are we achieving, what gaps are missing, evolving goals, calendar developments, productive solutions to like problems or improvements, that sort of thing. Activity, is activity good? Is activity declining? Um, tools, stats, all of that, right? And yeah, I tried to go through that as quick as possible without taking up too much time, but we got questions now. So if you want to talk about anything that I've just talked about or want to expand on anything, now is the time. Before I do that, sorry to butt in. Before I do that, this is Canva. I can send this to anyone. So if, say, someone wanted to edit this, they can. But I'm happy making these every month. That's no problem. They're very easy to do. When it comes to networking and recruiting, I just wanted to show this directly. The Firebird Social PVM clan in Recruitment PVM. I've already used it to post stuff on here. So how I like to post on here is rather than just writing bump or something, I actually like post the calendar and I post like what we're doing, or I will post just like really cool clan photos, the bingo board and like the bingo trailer. That's the sort of things I'd be posting. Just makes it look a bit more interesting for someone that's gonna look at it. Looking for a clan. If I were to sort this up, 1 moment, sorry, to date posted. It's probably best to have it on date posted. 16 minutes ago, 1600 total, so he's in the limit. He can join technically. He's mainly a scaler, so we understand he's a scaler. I plan on doing PVM in the future, so we know that's his goal. Looking for really chilled out people to have a joke. I'm UK time zone. I'm British myself. That's favorable to me. Maybe I hit him a message and say, "Hey, we have a clan. Are you interested?" You know, that's there. And then Hammer Time. So you just Google Hammer Time. You go on here, and don't worry about this time zone bit. This is already local time to you. You don't have to mess about with that at all. So you go for your date, whatever your date is, where you're doing an event. Say I'm doing an event on the 16th at 7 o'clock my time, right? And I took that. You see these copy to clipboard things on the side here? Just click that, and then you just paste that. And then for me, that will say 7 o'clock. For you, that will say something else. But yeah, now we can get into questions. If you guys have any.
Now on the Clan v Clan bingo, only because I seen it was Wildy bosses, which is great. Now, obviously we won't know. Well, I guess we may or may not know who we're going against.
Yep.
Now, if we PK them, is that going to be an issue?
I don't care.
No, it's fair.
Because like I'm just saying, like, you know, there's them, you know, obviously in the Wildy, you know, there's a lot of, you know, I'm trying to bring a lot more people into PKing in the clan myself. Just, you know, because it's fun, you know what I mean? And obviously if the bigger pack of kids that we can get in the wilderness, you know, the better, you know, the wilderness content would be all around, whether it's like masses or PKing or anything, you know what I mean? Like just trying to get people to understand that, you know, dying in the wilderness is not the end of the game. I just want to, you know, because I know some people are
right.
Or
You can't take what you can't give. So if we are going into the wildy, we know what we're getting into, and say you are to PK them, I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's against the rules. You can't do that. But if they decide to go back and retaliate and then start PKing us, it's tit for tat. You know, like they can do that, and I'm not gonna be angry about that either. You know.
yeah. I mean, I'm cool with. I mean, I cool with all that. I just wanted to make sure like it wasn't going to be like a, you know, no PKing the opposing team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's no problem.
Um,
Like when it comes to roles and everything like that, like you guys understand like what we're trying to get at, what we're trying to start. Like, does everyone understand what their like their role, you know, what they want to do?
yeah, I mean, I do. I mean, I've been around a lot of big clans, Call of Duty clans, Apex clans. I understand basically all of it. I mean, I don't know about other people. I know Sassy. She's a little bit on the newer side to gaming, where me, I've been gaming forever. So
I'll be blunt in the sense of that I'm asking more than I usually ever have in the past. We're very chill out before. We do want more input because that's what we're talking about clan sustainability, changing the dynamics. What I just want to convey and make sure is that I'm not asking too much from everyone, is that what I'm saying is agreeable, is mutual, we're eye to eye, everyone understands what we're talking about, and we're on board, we want to go through with this, or is it like, oh, that's a lot to take in, you know, I need time to think, or, you know, anything like that, you know?
yeah. I mean, me personally, I think that, you know, I think that you're doing a great job, and I actually respect the hell out of the amount of time that you put into your own clan, because I'm a big person on, you know, like you kind of get what you know, put in, you know, and because, you know, I was a project superintendent for a long time, and, you know, I've had a lot of people that are never did construction a day in their life, and I'd teach them. And obviously, you know, yeah, I bonded with the guys that wanted to learn a lot more than the guys that were just there for a paycheck. So I do appreciate that, you know, you take the time to actually, I could see that, you know, you really want your clan to, you know, thrive. So you're putting the time in yourself, which is great.
Yeah, I'll keep it up. I'll keep it up. Thank you as well.
I mean, I'm serious, dude. Like, you don't really see a lot of people that, you know, you definitely put a lot of time in. There's no doubt about it.
So as long as
Let's
everyone
not.
understands,
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody doesn't have to speak at once, you know. Nobody's gonna bite.
How can we talk with you fucking, you're a yapper, bro?
Right, exactly.
Hey, you just worry about driving, all right? Don't hit a Tesla or
I'm just
anything, all right?
saying, I like the way you set this shit up. We tried to do this in Ashen, you know, I tried to set it up pretty similar to you, and it is very hard to get people on board with taking on different routes.
Yeah, I'm even recording it so that everyone is.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's a great idea to divvy it up like this.
Sweet. Also,
No, yeah, I'm-
of course, I did bring up, and it's not an obligation, is going on to the clan bank sustainability. Is that asking for too much, or is that something that's within like reasonable for yourselves? I know other people are like at different skill levels. Maybe, you know, it's too much for them. Like, I understand that. I'm not gonna make anyone feel like they have to do this. I just want to like know, like, is there something that goes, yeah, I'm happy to help out with that, or is that like a bit too much to ask?
I mean, I'm cool with it. 5 mil ain't nothing. To be honest with you,
I'm
I mean,
happy
I
to
can
help
make
with it.
that in like 2 Callisto trips.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine with the amount of ballsmanship too.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
You know, we do all these masses, we can put a little bit of the mass profit back into the clan.
Yeah, yeah, that, and I really appreciate it. It's gonna like really help, and we'll get these like Clan B clans on the way, and obviously we use it to, you know, make really fun events for everyone in the community as a whole. Um, I will be putting this forward in a clan meeting as well. I don't want us to feel like, oh, this is only a staff thing. Like staff had to do this. What about everyone? You know, I do want to make a clan meeting as well, but I thought we'd touch on a staff meeting first because essentially this is the important bit. This is where we want to shift the gears up, get the dynamic, get everyone on board. Everyone understands what they're doing, and you know, just get into the practice of it to the point that everyone is just like confident. They know what they're doing, and you know, we're in a good place. So I wanted this first before a clan meeting. Um, and then I'll probably host that at some point. But I don't want to put too much on myself right now because there's a lot of things I've got to change. Um, we got a drop party coming up this weekend. Um, trying to fit. I got a couple of clans that I'm discussing with. One with is discussing with Sequel. One with myself. What we want to try and do is sustain a clan to clan relationship, so that we aren't having this trouble and this headache where when we want a clan v clan event, it's like we're pulling our hair out, speaking to like 10 different clans. That, you know, it's either yes or no or nothing happens. Because although this Clan v Clan that just happened was really fun, like in house it was great. Even on the Bloodhound side, even when we were lucky enough to get a clan to play with us in a short space of time, um, I mean they've deleted their Discord server. Like that's gone to shambles. So it's a bit difficult. So I do want to try and sustain a clan to clan relationship so that we can have these events happen a bit more smoothly. Hopefully, anyway. So yeah, I've got just quite a lot on my plate to do, which I'm happy to do. And then I'll probably look into doing a clan meeting at that point once those changes are either prepared or ready or have happened. So I'm not like putting too much on my plate. You know.
Yeah. I mean, and personally, like leading on to like the clan v clan thing, like is if we can find some clans that are willing to, you know, like basically befriend us to where like we can have friendly competitions amongst them, amongst each other.
Yeah.
You know, it always leads back to like a little like a rivalry or something, you know, where like, you know, we may lose one event, but then, you know, we need to get our redemption and win the next one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll put some like fire behind, you know, people, you know, or vice versa.
Yeah, I think it's healthy. I don't mind that. I don't mind a bit of competition.
No, it's great. I mean, especially if they're Phillies fans, and we can run them over.
Sweet. Okay. This is a good general discussion.
Them Mets fans, though, too, man. Them guys are weird too. Here he goes. I knew he was going to say something.
We just had Sleepy, you're safe, but we got to get rid of this guy. All right. I have to cut out though. Thanks for having the meeting. I will talk to you guys later.
It's been a 30-minute
Sounds
meeting.
good.
I think we've gone.
Bye.
I think. But yeah, I don't, unless there's any other questions.
No, I mean I'm pretty good, but I don't know about everybody else.
Yeah.
I kinda get
everything
the
was
gist
well
of
laid out.
everything.
Sweet, awesome. Well, I'll start posting this to YouTube. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, onwards to bigger days.